Hey everyone, we just created a podcast. I didn't get a chance to get it out here just yet. I'll get it out tonight. Um, but gonna try something different here and do a watch along for Daytona 500 qualifying. So gonna talk some racing. So gonna have a good time, Mark.
Talk racing. Let's do that. I like doing that. So yeah, I'm scrambling around here with Fox Sports app trying that because there's a basketball game delaying this a little bit, but we'll be all right.
Yeah, if you're joining us here, that's on FS2 or the Fox Sports app. So Daytona qualifying has not started yet, but it is on FS2 and Fox Sports app, so you can download those. Or if you have FS2, just tune into that right now. Eventually, they'll switch back over to FS1 here, but looking forward to talking some racing, seeing who's going to get the front row here for the Daytona 500. Obviously, the other story we're watching is who's going to make it in on speed from the open cars. There's 9 of them vying for 4 spots here. Obviously, if Elio does not make that, he will get that guaranteed spot here. So let us know who you're thinking is going to get the front row or the pole here, or who you think is going to get in for the open cars as well.
All right, buddy. So who's going to be there? I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh man,
Who's
I
going to
knew
be
you
on
were
the
going to do
front row, huh?
that. Boy, um, I think the Toyotas struggle with qualifying, which is really going to be interesting. We didn't really touch on this on the podcast, but I think the Toyotas kind of struggle. So is Martin Truex Jr. going to be in danger of missing the race here? As far as the front row, I'm going to say the defending Daytona 500 champion William Byron is going to be on the pole, and Alex Bowman. I'm going to flip flop it. Alex Bowman will be on the pole. William Byron will be outside pole. Who do you got?
Hey, I like that Alex Bowman deal, but man, I'll tell you what, I think there's going to be a front row, 34 or 38 or even the 4, one of them, because they've always proven to be fast, that they're always. So we'll see if the Fords can qualify by themselves. So I'll take a front row, one of those cars, and yeah, either 24 or the 48 is the other one.
Okay. Yeah, for people just joining, I said that I think the Toyota struggle qualifying here. So is Martin Truex Jr. in danger of missing it on speed right off the bat here? But comment on the post here. We'll see everything. Whether you comment on YouTube, on Facebook, or anything, trying something different, hoping talk any kind of racing on here. So just something different to do. Of course, it's snowing and bad weather out there, so what better time to do a watch along and talk some racing here? I know it's just Daytona 500 qualifying, but talking any kind of racing is fun. So, comment on
Yeah.
here who you think's going to get it. Terry Korth joining us here. Hey Terry, got my WIR sweatshirt on. Of course, a legend out at WIR. He
A
thinks
legend, yeah,
Hendrick.
for the capital L with a legend there, man. So yeah, hi to Terry there.
He thinks Hendrick Carr is going to get a pull. I agree with you. I said Alex Bowman and William Byron um, on the front row there. I think Bowman will get the pull. Hey, Louis Goss is joining us. Well, they just started that podcast too. It has been doing really good with Chris Marshall. They had Jordan Thiel on the other day as well, so they're doing some good stuff as well. So, good evening, Louis, and appreciate you joining here. Who do you think is going to get the front row or the pull here, Louis? Mark, who did you say again? I apologize.
I got to take a front row. One of the either 34, 38, or maybe even Gregson with the 4. He was fast this morning. And then, yeah, you got to take one of them Hendrick cars. It seems like Bowman's always there at the top. He's always there. So that's where I'm at. It's kind of like split with a Hendrick and a front row car. That's what I'm taking.
Hey, I got to give a shout out to a couple of our big supporters as well. We got the Corp Racing. I see you got your cup there. So Tim Mulry just celebrated birthday. We talked about it on the podcast just a little bit ago. I didn't get the podcast out in time, but thank you, Tim, with the Corp Racing. We're enjoying I got soda in my cup here, but thank you for the cups. Thanks for all the support. Also, Valley Gasket. Thank you to Ben and Carrie with them for supporting us as well. So we'll say that a few times. But
Yeah,
yeah, these cups are awesome. I use mine all the time.
this one here is full of from Titletown Brewery. We went up and got our growlers filled, and I finished one off the other day, and so I got this fresh one going right here with some chocolate coffee ale, and yeah, it's mighty yummy. So it's nice and cold here, and just waiting for because I don't have FS2, so I'm patiently waiting for this basketball game to get over with.
Yeah, they are live on FS2. If you're just joining us, FS2 or the Fox Sports app. So be looking out for that here. Right now, they got Jeff Gordon talking to Elio Castroneves. I would like to be a fly on the wall for that conversation.
Who's that? Huh? He was bouncing around. It was amazing when we this morning watching practice. I either the track got a lot rougher or they're using some really light springs, man, because they were bouncing around quite a bit. Um, I don't know. It kind of looks like Daytona is getting some character, and it isn't as smooth as what it used to be.
Yeah, over the last few years, I feel like that's been the case. So going out first, it looks like it is going to be Justin Haley here and then Ricky Stenhouse Jr. So here we get going. Justin Haley in the Chili's Dente scheme. Chili's came on board his car. They were on Corey LaJoy, the same car last year, but they're trying to get you to get that Presidente margarita there. So Chili's is actually one of my favorite restaurants. I think we talked about that when we're talking about Chili's joining the 7 car again.
Yeah. So yeah, there was a driver change there in the middle of the year when Justin Haley came over from the 51 car, and it was right around Labor Day, somewhere around there, and he jumped in the car, and then they're going to follow through with that. And yeah, Corey LaJoy is in the '01 car. It's a red car. They were saying something this morning that he has like a penny. What is it? A penny app or something like that that's going on with his sponsorship. Sharp. Naturally, it's a red race car, so it's sharp, right?
Mark, you'll be happy to hear that Louis Goss says any Ford will be on the front row. So he said you'll side with him on that.
All right.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't put it this way. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, but we have some good discussions regarding that. Terry said Hendrick car will be, but he would like Rowdy to get on the pole. So Terry
Yeah.
Korth looking for Kyle Busch to get the pole there. And then in addition to that, Louis says the new car runs bump stops on at least 3 corners, so that'll make it a rough ride. So that gives you some insight there to why you might be seeing some character and extra bouncing going around in these next gen cars. Can we still
Yeah.
call it the next gen? It's
I
the
don't
current
think.
gen.
Yeah. Yeah, Harvick says, the first lap that goes out, it's rough and it bounces around a little bit. And then, they'll dial some comfort into it later on. But this morning, they were just looking to make sure that everything is not rubbing and everything looks good. But the 6 and the 60 were smoking her up. I mean, Keselowski was smoking really bad, and they were looking underneath the car, somewhere underneath the right front side, some with a bump stop on there, and they had a reset or whatever. So,
All right, so Haley went out first here. Ricky Stenhouse in the Sunny D scheme. For your NASCAR pool that you run, Mark, I actually picked Ricky Stenhouse to win the Daytona 500. I don't necessarily love that, but I don't like taking a big name or a guy that I'm going to use multiple times right away at Daytona or any of the super speedways because we all know it. We say anyone can win. There are a lot of people who do run well there and put time in to do well there, but just the wrecks and all of that. I don't like to use a big name right away.
yeah, because you might as well not do that, right? Because, like I say, uh, any one of the 41 that are 41 that's going to be in there is going to definitely has a chance. Doesn't matter where you start in this race, man. It's how you finish.
Right. So Justin Haley ran a 49.82 at 825. Ricky Stenhouse, I saw the times earlier. He was really down on speed. He was down in the 30s. He ran a 50.148 here. So he is over 3/10 off of Justin Haley's first lap.
And they're only counting one lap, or are they counting two?
Looks like one.
One lap. That's what I thought. It was just a one lap. Make it happen, and that's it.
Yeah. They changed that a few years ago. So John Hunter Nemechek's up next here. He's tracking a little off of Justin Haley right now as he goes out of turn 2.
All right. And the basketball game is over. Villanova beats St. John's, so ninth ranked St. John's. So that's an upset.
Oh
And
yeah.
so that's coming off. So I'll be able to join you here in a second. And there we
Oh,
go.
probably
I
right
see
now.
it. And I see Nemechek is on the track here. So, all right.
Yeah, speaking of St. John, I know that we're doing with St. John's. I found Rick Pitino's comment the other day that he won. I forget what it is. I don't know if it was 10 in a row or whatever. And he said, "What if I told you won 10 out of the last 11?" And his comment was, "I'd ask you why we lost that 11th game or that first game or whatever." So
Mhm.
Rick Pitino had some good. Oh, they got Dale Jr. on here. I
Yeah.
know there's going to be some people that don't want to hear about this constantly, but this is a big story. Dale Earnhardt Jr., obviously a massive name, hasn't gone to Cup racing yet. It's a huge story that I know I'm an Earnhardt fan, but going to be paying attention quite a bit. It could be a pretty special story.
Move your mic around just a little bit there, buddy, because it's just like on iRacing. You're breaking up just a little bit. But yeah, Dale Jr., this just didn't happen overnight, man. They've been thinking about doing this for quite some time. So it's a one-shot deal, and we'll see if they got the speed, or otherwise they're going to have to qualify tomorrow night.
And we talked about this on the podcast, and if you haven't been here the whole time, I didn't get that out just yet. We did record. Um, But Go Bowling's on this car for Michael McDowell. They did not, in a surprising move by both Mark and I, did not go on the track for practice. And I was a little afraid that they weren't prepared or something was going on. But he goes to the top of the charts by 2.5 tenths. So a lot of speed out of the Spire cars early.
Yep. So 49.57. Yeah, by a quarter of a second there. So that's a good deal. Yeah, here's one of the front row cars right here, huh? Everybody said, why did that four fonts on the car is actually from the 34. They all thought that that's the Harvick Berry font number 4, but that actually came the font from the 34 cars. So that's the 4 there. And well, we know Gregson's gonna uh, be there be there at the end. He's got some good experience here.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We talked
Well,
about this again on the podcast. To me, another developing story for the season is Front Row Motorsports or Spire. I feel like they're pretty even. Which one is going to take the biggest step first here? I feel like this could be a pivotal year for that.
they are sure using it looks like some pretty loose springs, man, because that car is, there's a lot of jumping up and down. Look at that. Yeah, I don't think Daytona's that rough, but sure looks like some pretty soft springs going on there. Yeah,
Yeah,
Grayson
again,
second.
yeah, he had a pretty good lap there with a 49.66. So here comes another front row car. These are the cars that you're watching, Mark. You said before here. So Zane Smith on track now.
Yeah, good to see him move over here. We've seen him, being a champion in the truck series and coming back with front row. Yeah, it should be a good year. We'll see what he can do here.
Hey,
So,
hey, Tom. Good to see you. Tom Janikowski's on here, a good friend of ours. He iRaces, was our wedding photographer. So, hey, Tom, who do you think is going to get the front row here, Tom? Oh, Terry also added some things in like Louis did before. The high rebound rates to keep the car down makes it for a rough ride. So, kind of along the same thing that Louis said. So, gives you some insight here.
and right here, boom, and that's going to be a Ford right there, fastest. Bang. Joe,
I
not by much though.
I am really looking for big things out of Zane Smith. He's a driver that I think has a ton of talent. I think some unfortunate things have happened to him over the years, but he lands back with front row where he's comfortable. I think he could be in for a big year. Here comes Truex. I talked about it a little bit ago, but Toyotas typically have struggled with speed during qualifying. Here, is he going to be in trouble and have to race his way into the duels here? This is one of the big first stories for me, anyway.
Yeah, move your mic around a little bit. You're still skipping there, buddy. But anyway, the Pro Bass Shops natural sponsor for him with Tracker, and it looks normal with a sharp looking orange and black car there. It looks really sharp for Truex.
Oh yeah, super sharp there. I like that silver and the orange around the grill, the front end there.
Yeah, ain't that sharp? That looks nice. But it's a Toyota, and we're going to find out if there's a pattern here that the Toyotas are um, just a little bit off on qualifying, but when they get into a draft, man, they make it work.
Truex actually with a decent lap there.
Not bad. Anthony Alfredo, yeah, the 62, isn't that something that everybody that's been in the 62, through the years, that it just it performs and they do well. They're only going to run Daytona, Talladega like they normally do, but they do get the results, man. They always get a top 10. You always see them there at the end.
Yeah, yep. Brendan Gaughan, of course, was a driver that was a long time in that car and had a lot of success. So um, they got a good history here at the super speedways.
Yes, sir. So yeah, they use that upper line, man, just like just like well, I think the first one that actually taught everybody that was Dick Trickle, and went around to the outside on the first lap to get the car wound up, and then you ride the yellow line, the lower line to get around, and so seventh for Alfredo, but that's all right. Like I say, it doesn't matter where you start.
Right. Yeah, that he'll have to race his way into the duels. So your efforts joining us here. Yeah, if you're watching, let us know you're watching. We'll see your comment. We'll be able to talk with you, talk to you, let us know some information. So Sawyer likes the WIR hoodie. I do too. Kind of
Yeah. So your
hockey
efforts,
style. I've seen a
champion.
lot.
I see a champion and a brand new race car, man. And to see you tweaking on that, I seen Jack put that out there. So exciting things with the Sawyer camp coming out. And hey, we always give them guys good luck if we show up out at their garage, man. And that's always a fun time. So, when we get closer to the spring, maybe we might have to spring over there again and see what's going on over on that side of town.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, that'll be a stop. I know we got to have Louis on too. His new
Yeah,
podcast is awesome.
yeah,
Yeah,
we
I like
figured.
the sweatshirt back in the day with the hot. It kind of reminds me of hockey style with that. But WIRs, get out and support your local racetracks. I know they love saying that, and it's true. Got to get out there and support your local short tracks there. Oh, here comes Justin Allgaier. So here's another big story coming up here.
This is more or less, they said, it's kind of a celebration for their Xfinity championship. And so they put this whole thing together, and you know, they were talking about 3 years ago with Junior and his sister. We're talking about doing something like this with Hendrick and putting this all together, and they got this whiskey sponsor. Sharp looking car. We'll see what he can do with it.
Man, it's their 20th year in the Xfinity series. That's pretty crazy
And and
to think
how
about.
and successful too, man. Traveler whiskey makes you want to go over to the liquor store and give it a taste and see what it's like, huh?
No, yeah, maybe we'll have to have that for the 500 party. But
You never know, man. We're supporting, so, and it's blend
hey,
number 40. That's where the number comes from. So, middle of the pack.
I'm gonna guess that that's not gonna hold up, and he'll have to
No,
get a
I
race
think
win.
they're gonna have to race to get in. Here's another one, Jimmy Johnson. So
Yeah,
this is
the 40 car looked like it was struggling with handling when it went down into 1 and 2. I didn't get to really see 3 and 4, but it looked like maybe a little bit of handling as well. Which you would think
yeah,
with the weather down there might not be an issue here, but they're talking, about the bump stops and all of that on here. It's going to be a rough ride. They're saying so.
yeah. So Jimmy Johnson, man, could be start number 699 here with Carvana. That's always with them, and sharp looking black and blue car there. So
Yeah, actually has Shaq on the front there. They did a free throw challenge, and Shaq beat him out and got to design his car. So Shaq has a partnership with Jimmy Johnson there, and maybe Carvana. But kind of cool looking ride here. But I hope he's able to make start number 699. So then the Coca-Cola 600 would be start number 700. We've talked about that. I think that would be pretty cool there. So far, he's second fastest of the Open. So I said the Toyotas kind of struggle with speed here, but Truex's time has held up through this all.
so far so good with him. Yeah. So right in the middle there, but
Hey, Mark,
here's another one.
Wayne Gauger says that he's excited to see you. And yeah, so
Hey
he's
man,
saying hi.
salute to Wayne of what he does, man. He goes out and helps people out that's had bad things happen with fires, and he's been down to Florida. And I man, salute and hats off to him, man. He does such great work out there, man, behind the scenes.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
So we appreciate that, Wayne. He loves the shack look. We do too. Boy, here's Elio. Here we go. Some more open cars. This is huge here.
you know,
Corey is questioning NASCAR. Yeah, we do love NASCAR, but supporting local racetracks right here with WIR. So uh, Corey uh, is a nice guy and great fan out at WIR and everything. So good to
absolutely.
see Corey.
He's the first one I see when I'm out there, and I always we kind of rib each other, so all in good fun. So, so yep, happy New Year to him too, man. Ooh, not so fast for Castro Nevis, but he's guaranteed to be in anyway.
Yeah, but that's a big story because is it 4 or 5 drivers going home? Because if he makes it in through the duels now, he's going to have to go through the duels. That sends a an extra car home if he makes it in on time. So something you don't necessarily think about, but could be a big deal for someone.
They call it controversial this morning on the broadcast this morning. Some of the lesser teams probably don't like that idea, but that's the new rule in NASCAR.
Bob Pockris did a lot of interviews, and it seems like the majority of the drivers and teams are for it. So there are some not. I only caught a few that said that, so maybe it's more tilted than what I think it is. But seemed like a bunch of them liked it anyway. Getting to
Yeah,
more information here. Oh, Wayne is an American Red Cross worker. Mark was just talking about that. That's amazing, Wayne. We appreciate that. So many people in need. So thanks for doing that. And so many devastating things going on over the last few months. So definitely
and
appreciate that.
he goes everywhere, man. It just isn't here or there. He's a very busy man, and we salute him and hats off to him.
No doubt.
And like seeing him at
Uh,
the racetrack, we like to really talk racing to us when we see each other. So
yeah. Ryan Mader said he's ready for Wisconsin racing season. That's music to our ears. We're right with you.
we're counting down, man. I'm already April 12th, man. The old icebreaker at the Dells. Well, take that back. The opener the night before is out at Gravity Park, and nothing like going out there and see if we can see some dirt fly to start the year on April 11th. At least that's my first date.
Sawyer Effort said he'll be back. He's got to do bedtime for his children. So
Yeah, well, that's
yeah,
all
we'll
right.
tune in and out. Yeah, just come on back. Hey, we're just talking racing here. So anything you want to talk about, let us know you're here just to say hi or whatever. So gonna try to do more of this. Just watching here and talking. So I might for the people here, I might do this tomorrow for the duels. I'm kind of split. I kind of want to have a good time with you, Mark, over at your house. But I want to give this another try. So I'm still 50-50 on it.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to be in the man cave, and we're going to crank it up over here and get some. It's kind of like a pre-race party before the Sunday get together with a bunch of fans over here. So, wow, man, it's racing weekend. We've been waiting all winter, man, getting pumped here. Look at that. Did you see that diagram they put in the grass, man? Like no
Yeah,
burnouts or nobody going to grass, man. You don't want to ruin that. That looks so sharp.
they do such a good job with that every year. Remember when we were down there and they were designing it? for the 60th coming up that Austin Dillon ended up winning, and they had that. I think it was the car of the Harley J. Earl Trophy there. That was a pretty good design too. But Brandon Reichenberger's tuning in. Champion Brandon Reichenberger with the Midwest Truck Series. Cool to see Brandon, and everything's going well for the Reichenberger family. So thankful for that. So
Oh man, yeah, there was a bunch of prayers that were sent that way, and they were answered good. And
yeah,
that all turned right, man, just like what we all hope for. So, because that little guy's got to have a wheel in his hand someday, because he is a Reichenberger, right? Huh?
I seen a post recently. Yep.
You got to
uh,
keep them Reichenbergers on the racetrack somehow, man. So another one coming up through the ranks.
uh, Louis Goss said, "Mark, do you have your fun tour posted?" I don't think you do, but I kind of put together my own fun tour off of yours. So um, I wanted to say without the weekly shows, I had close to 35 on there. I'm not going to hit all of them, but I know you got an extensive list.
Now that we've talked about going to Iowa in July, I got to add one. So right now, I think I'm at 62. And that's a kind of a high number, but with my mom with her broken ankle last year, and I sacrificed a lot last year, and said I'm going to make up for lost time and try to do a little bit more this year. So we're at this time 62, and we'll see where it goes. But somewhere in March, I will post the fun tour, and yeah, anybody wants to tag along or whatever, hey, let's go racing, man. We'll all go
let's
together and we'll find out what's going on there. So
let's go. Um,
cold,
let's
cold
let's see
cuffs
what
there, huh?
else. We got Bing Bong on here. Randy Bay's on here. Hey, Randy.
Hey, we like.
Ryan Mater said if it was only warmer for the Clash to get it at Slinger. Yeah, wouldn't that be something? Clash at Slinger.
Oh, yeah, that would be the classic right there.
oh, my wife's on here. Go shovel the driveway. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. That's something on the list yet for tonight. But
well, you always have
Chris
a.
Marshall. We were just talking about Louis. Chris is on here. We talked about the podcast. Doing a great job with that. So we're doing well. He wants to know if you're going to Wisconsin Sprint Car Week, Mark.
And when is that?
I think he's talking about the June swing with the World of Outlaws.
Yeah, because that when they come swinging through here, yeah, I'm going to hit. I'm going
What
to
is
try
that?
to hit out.
June 6th, 7th, and 8th, I think.
And that is on the schedule. That's Plymouth on Friday night and Beaver Dam on Saturday and down in Sun Prairie Sunday. And all three of those at this time is on my schedule.
I think I'm going to try to hit one of those. I forget. Let me see my list
If
here.
you
I've
don't want to
got it.
get no dirt in your eyes, you'd have to bring your goggles along
I
there.
got to bring. Well, now I have goggles that I got to wear all the time, so it doesn't matter.
For
I
you
have it on my
guys out there,
schedule, maybe.
I got him up to Shawano for the first time for a dirt race, and he had goggles on, and we were in the 26th row. He was worried about getting dust in his eye. So I got a
Well,
classic picture out there of that. So someday that'll come back and get you.
it already has. It's actually one of my favorite pictures, just being a goofy kid at the time and all of that. So, yeah, he's talking about the World of Outlaws, the IRA and high limit swing there in June. Yep. So Chris is gonna try to hit all those. I have no doubt. Chris is a great guy, working with Louis Goss in that podcast. Go check that out, Louis Goss Racing, um, on YouTube and also their social media channels. They do a great job.
Absolutely. Yep. I tune into there and learn something here and there. So they do cool things from the shop over there.
Scary Truex is still up there. I was a little worried about him, but he's still going as the top open car.
I got a front row car, like I said, dude. It's up front there, but we'll see if that holds up. If the more that it's nightfall, the track's going to cool down probably more. We'll see if it's got more grip. Camouflage number 3, dude. And
Yeah,
he's
another good
one.
looking Bass Pro car.
Yep, and he's won the 500 before, and that's a Childress card. We know that he can do rather well here.
Yep,
Boy, them
the
cards.
60th Daytona 500 winner back in 2018. And does he go to the top? Yeah,
Oh,
he was looking really good.
boom! Yep, there you go.
Yep. Chevy Power.
All right. Well, I got Kyle Busch that I picked for this whole weekend, dude, on my pool and
Uh,
against you, man. So we'll see what happens when the eight pops out a little bit later on.
know what
Here's a,
car I really like the design on that doesn't really it's pretty plain and St. All um, is Cole Custer's that 41. There's something about the way the numbers look, and it is a red race car, so I know it's going to be one of your favorites. But
uh-huh.
this was brought up on SiriusXM with someone who was saying BJ McLeod is friends with everyone. So if you have an option of pushing one of the open cars in because he's friends with anyone and he's your friend, you push him in over others. Um, I don't know.
Yeah, he's the owner, driver, and part-time guy, and sharp-looking ride here. See what he does.
Yeah, yeah. Looks like he's got a sponsor there, so that's good for him and that team.
Well, looks like a 10th there, huh? Right around there. Oh,
No, they're doing the bubble for 10th, so it's 10th
uh,
on
I
on
see
the
that.
back.
Yep, I just paid attention to
Uh,
that window over there. So
Ryan Mader is saying his favorite memory this past season was helping Randy get a heat race win this past year. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Here's Priest. This RFK, we just talked about them on the podcast. Um, I don't know if I want to throw RFK in with front row Inspire, but you maybe could. Is who's going to take the next step first? I think I may throw them in there. I said it was front row Inspire, but RFK, I feel like you could throw in that group as well.
yeah, just as long as he keeps his wheels on the ground, man. Don't do what he did when he did that this spectacular flip, man. But
Oh
anyway,
my.
yeah, that was probably we haven't seen something like that in so many years, and scary incident. But he once again walked away. I expect an improvement with this team. Even though it's a new team.
Wow.
Look at that, bang! Um, Ford's fast there, man.
Wow. That's uh that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's all
Eh,
right. Maybe the track's cooling down. We're getting faster, dude.
this will be the year that I don't pick Brad Keselowski and he wins it. Like I've picked Brad Keselowski it has to have been what would you've seen my pool market. I've had to have picked 5 of the last 6 years or something like that. It's
Him and
crazy how
Logano
many times I
always
picked them.
him and Logano are like oil and water, man. They just don't mix. They're always up front and they're pushing each other, and it seems like they always go over the edge. But Brad knows how to get around there, man. He's always up front. He figures it out.
That's a thing. I like to take him there, but yeah, I told you when I submitted I didn't like my pick. But
Yeah, Stenhouse. Yeah,
I don't necessarily want to pick the winner. I want to pick a guy who's just going to get me
and in
some stage
between you
points
and me,
and
you took LaJoy or you took Haley, and yeah, and it was
yeah,
disappointing this morning. Just like, oh, they're not going to bring the car out, and it's so.
had
Um,
me worried.
yeah, it's just like never know, man. Does the clutch work? Does the tires, bump stops all set and everything like that? So unreal, unbelievable that they would not run at least one or two laps.
Hey, Ryan Manthe's on here. He owns a bunch of race cars. Got the WR hoodie on for support your local racetracks. Even though we're watching Cup qualifying here, but um, you know, Cody Vanderloop has driven for Ryan before a bunch of guys um, for him. He's pulling for front row to make a big jump. Green Bay native Chris Yurgis is the race day engineer. So there's some more good information from Ryan. I got to have a conversation online with Ryan. Been wanting to meet him for a few years now because I announced hockey. Mark, you and I just went to the Deacons game a few weeks ago, and one of the
Mm-hmm.
players, Simon Hedin, and Ryan are in a band together, Whiskey Ditch. So go out and follow Whiskey Ditch because they're a great band. I've seen them a few times and need to make it back and have an in-person conversation with Ryan, and it'll be good to see Simon again too.
All right, good deal there.
That Corey LaJoy, it looks like coming back from commercial. Yeah,
That
he could
apron
be
sure
one.
is rough. Good thing there's double lines there, so you don't race there. Because look how rough that is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
he's really bouncing. That looks totally different without the grass there and the chicane there. So looks
Yeah.
different. Hey, let's see what this 34 can do. McDowell
Yep.
sure had this thing rocking and getting a lot of pulls on this car. So let's see how fast this 34 is here.
How many times are you going to look at that car and think it's Michael McDowell?
I'm having a trouble with that this year as
Yeah.
I do my racing pool, and just like the 71 comes up and it stops me in my tracks, I just like, uh, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, his teammates are up near the top of the board right now, so he goes fourth. Yeah.
I
So,
see my wife is on here. So hi, Lenny. So she just chimed
hey,
in and
Lynn.
said that I'm supposed to adjust my camera. Apparently, there's not enough Sunoco over the top of my head for
Oh,
sponsorship down here. So
we love race fuel.
so Gilliland fourth, huh? So
Yep. Tom Hawkers, Fox River Racing Club president, chiming in here, saying that we're doing a
awesome.
great job. We appreciate Tom. Tom does such a great job with the club. So much work goes into that stuff, and it was good to see
That is
him and
one
go over things while I was at the banquet a few weeks ago too. So appreciate it, Tom.
behind the scenes, man. It does not go unnoticed how hard Tom does and works out there, man. And just definitely appreciate it. That comes from the fans, and that is for myself too. So good evening there, Tom. Good to see you on here.
Yeah, Jason Nacker said the 34 and the 19 will take some time getting used to. Mark and I agree on this. I think we're okay with Chase Briscoe in the 19 for whatever reason, but the 34 um, could be a struggle for us.
3871. Yep, those are
Yeah,
the tough ones. Yeah, where as you're filling out boards and like you just gotta stop for a second and say, that's right, he's in the 71 and Zane Smith with the 38, how that got all switched around. So all right, we're gonna start getting into some big dogs here starting to qualify here now. Ty Dillon yet?
Haley was the first one to go out. Now he's on the bubble of the top 10, and it looks like Ty Dillon has a pretty good shot to bump him out.
Looking good going down the backstretch. Boy, them cars sure bounce around down that backstretch, huh? Soft
Yeah.
springs.
Hey, next to qualify, Riley Herbst, one of the rookies this year with Shane Van Gisbergen. We talked about or actually, I think it was the week that you were out of the podcast. I talked about the rookie battles. Looking forward to it. Riley Herbst and Shane Van Gisbergen could be a good one too, but just with the road courses, I think Shane pulls that out.
Wow, P2 for Dillon.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a surpriser there.
And I guess where I was going with that is Chandler Smith popped up on the board too. He had pretty good practice time, I believe. Mark, wasn't he inside like the top 5?
Right off the box this morning, I was a bang, and he was up there. So yeah, good to see the 66 up there.
I got to go check on that. But Pastor Scott Burrows on here as well, saying looking forward to a great 2025 race season. Absolutely, looking forward to that as well. I guess it kind of started chill. I'd be curious to when people think this racing reasons start. Do they wait till short track racing starts? Do they think the Chili Bowl kind of kicks it off, or Speed Fest down in Cordell, or the 24 hours? You and I kind of think the 24 hours kind of gets us going, but I'd be curious to hear others. I haven't heard too much yet.
Yeah, I usually the 24 from Daytona is kind of like, all right, we're getting there. So, and then yeah, Bush shootout. You know, interesting show over at Bowman Gray. Um, Hopefully they come back one more time next year, you know, and give them a chance to run more. It was amazing how the media was already saying, "Where are we going next?" and we didn't even see the product yet, you know. So I think they should give it another chance, and then yeah, hey, bring it up to Slinger, man. We'll dress up for that, and we love to see a cup car go race around Slinger, huh?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Trying to get that practice result to load here for
Your
whatever
mic
reason.
is
The net.
still jumping a little bit. Just like, is that the same mic you use on iRacing?
It is, yeah. Maybe
Maybe
something I need to look into.
because also if you speak up louder, it works really well. But when you talk about half tone, then there's a skip to it. So just to give you some information that way. So after this gets done, I think what is it, 9 o'clock tonight is the 500 on iRacing, and Lauren is he's thinking about running the 500 tonight, and I'll be his spotter. Try to keep him out of trouble, and I might run the Sunday or the Saturday race. I've
Do you do you got me?
Yes, that sounds
Okay. Okay.
much better there, buddy. And so then maybe Saturday might run the 500, you know, and that's like 3.5 hours in the seat there. So I kind of told Lauren, don't you have to work? You have to work in the morning because you're going to be up till after midnight, you know. So yeah, if this gets done in time, is it 9 o'clock tonight for the 500?
I think so. That's what the session says on the app. So, yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, now you
Andy
might.
Monday's on here now and says the 48's taking the pole, which I agree with. I said the 48 on the pole with the 24 to his outside here.
Yep, your mic went back. It was loud and clear, and that kicked right out. So yeah, Andy's down in, I think he's down in Daytona, the way I understand it. I just made contact with him, and he was telling me that the 48's he's going to be on the pole, and that's a dandy of a pick there.
But yeah, going back to iRacing, I think I am going to run that as long as it's at 9 o'clock tonight. So qualifying should be over by then. So I'm going to try to run that. Andy says, "Have you ever spotted the Talladega 499?" Yeah, good thing he didn't listen to me. Put it that way, because I called a wreck and said, "Go low." I think he went high, or vice versa, and he ended up missing the wreck and taking the thing. In fact, it's funny he brings that up because let me look here on my memories. I think that memory popped up today, Andy, which would be really funny.
And he didn't forget either. Race car drivers never forget, do they?
No, it's not on my
They have
memories forever.
memory like an elephant.
Yeah, maybe it was yesterday. It was one of. For some reason, I ended up seeing that post, so that's pretty funny, Andy. Burmese on here. Steve Burmeister bumps remind him of our closest quarter-mile track.
Yep, old drag racer. Yep. So I run. He'll be over tomorrow night. And we're gonna watch the 150s tomorrow night over here. So good to see Burmy on here.
Pastor Scott says the season never really ends. We just flip the calendar. You know what? With doing all this stuff, I tend to agree with you, Pastor. No doubt about it.
It is no doubt. It never sleeps, man.
How about Riley Herbst getting inside the top 10 for right now? And Chandler Smith, I didn't find out where he was on practice charts, but it looks like he is going to miss the top 10. But that 66 car has a lot more speed than people thought.
Yep, Chandler Smith. We thought he was going to be a shoe in to go right to Cup, you know, but he's going to run full time in the Truck Series this year. And hey, I put it out on the podcast tonight that I'm predicting, and you too, right? Predicted that he's going to win the championship in the Truck Series.
Yes, yep, we both had that. And is Jason Knackers is saying Truex will make the race? Is he locked in now? What do we got? One, two, I see 6 on the board.
Did
Oh,
that
Jimmy's in
66?
too.
He
So
didn't even make the bird. Did he?
so Truex and Jimmy are locked in on speed. So yeah, that is pretty cool.
I love the gray beard there, dude. He's trying to look like me.
Well, heck, I'm starting to look like you here
Remember, I
pretty
got a
soon.
face for radio though, so I'm going to charts uncharted waters here, showing my beautiful gray beard here.
The joke that I always say is I got a face for radio, but even radio doesn't help Mark.
Not me. So I'll hide behind the red cup here. So if it
Hey,
scares anybody,
hey, yeah, shout out to the Corp Racing, Tim Mulry for these
absolutely.
cups.
Yeah.
Great
Thanks for the.
sponsorship, great partnership, great friendship. He just celebrated a birthday last week on the 6th there. So happy birthday again, buddy. Appreciate it. Also, thanks to Valley Gasket, Ben and Carrie, great supporters as well, and everyone joining us on here. We really appreciate it. Just trying something new to talk racing. We can, potentially add guests in the future and talk some more racing. So we'll see your comments on here.
And as soon as we get off of there, Lauren's going to download what? Download the podcast because
Yeah,
we got carried away and just like a simple podcast ended up being what, an hour and 20 minutes. So we
yeah.
get just carried away. We want to try to keep it short. And we just keep right on rock. So,
I'd like for it to be about 30 minutes, but um, maybe someday we'll get there.
and Blaney got an eighth, so that's a Ford top 10 right there. That's
Jason
not
Knackers is rooting for Elgire to make the race. Would love to see juniors car racing. Yeah, that would be a big story for
Yep,
sure.
absolutely. This guy was practicing burnouts in the pits this morning. Uh, he would go from box to box, uh, trying to launch off. You know, he'd launch and then he'd go to the next box and he would launch. And he was practicing pit stops and launching. So he said, "Yeah, it's been 3 months since these guys have been doing it. So try to knock the rust off on pit stops." Sharp looking ride there, man.
Yeah, the Beast. Speaking of Andy
The,
Monday, he rode
the
in the
beast.
number 10 Beast car. What was that, 2 years ago in the Gandrud Auto Group 250? Denny Hamlin was fastest in practice, correct?
Yeah, but I think the times were really messed up because some guys were trying to run solo, and then there was right at about 4 minutes to go. Everybody kind of tried to pick a partner and see if they could rip around the track. And the 23 and 54 got lined up first, and that's how they ended up on top of the board. So, but we know this guy will be up front. But a lot of times sometimes when he's up front, he likes to drag back to the rear at the beginning of the race, and then slowly find himself back up to the front by the end of the race.
Yeah.
No FedEx on that car this year, man.
Yeah, that's weird too.
Yeah, long time sponsor for him. Well, that's going to knock Gregson out of the top 10. P4.
Fourth. How about Ryan Preece at the top of the board still?
Yeah.
That's impressive. Ty Dillon, Austin Dillon right there. Zane Smith and Gilliland up there. You called the front row cars.
Doesn't
McDowell.
doesn't it just what we saw at Bowman Gray, doesn't it just seem like this is the guy right here, Chase Elliott, that it just could absolutely, possibly could be his year.
You know, when we were doing our picks, I heavily considered him to be the champion as well. I do think, even though I picked Christopher Bell, I do think Ryan Blaney. If I was going with my head, I really think Ryan Blaney is going to do it. But I picked Christopher Bell. But honestly, Chase Elliott was right there on my list as well.
Yeah. Always with Napa, sharp looking paint job.
Yeah, yeah, blue race car. I kind of like the blue.
Yeah,
I like red too, but
yeah, and it's a Chevy, so you ought to like that even more, right?
absolutely, that's right.
I was always his dad's fan. His dad's. I was always a Bill Elliott fan, man. Loved him back in the day.
How many are left here?
Hmm.
So we got quite a few left.
And Joey Logano, I wonder if he sleeps with a Coca-Cola. Everywhere he goes, he must have that welded to his head. He's always got a Coca-Cola in his hand.
RFK has some really sharp paint schemes this year too. This Continental one for Brad Keselowski, I always like their Castrol cars as well. They got some really cool paint schemes.
Well, yeah, their Castrol cars look really sharp.
So Brad Keselowski is the 30th qualifier. There's 45 cars trying to make it. So we got 15 after him.
Well, might knock Blaney out of the top 10 here, looks like.
That's a Ford-on-Ford crime.
Boy, the times are tight, though. Look at that, huh?
Yeah,
You got a P8 out of it.
I don't know if that'll hold up. Chase Elliott's kind of surprising. I don't know if that's going to hold up either.
Here's a sharp paint job. You know, this guy here, just right away, okay, he's a road course ace, but he learned a lot this last year, and it's going to be interesting to be full-time this year, exactly what he can do.
Yeah, I agree. You and I have talked about it a lot. He just seems like he's a guy who would learn the track quickly and then at the end of the race be there inside the top 10 in the Xfinity Series. Like he was just learning, and then he would be there. If he continues that trend, and I mentioned this, these cars are more similar to the supercars that he's used to driving than the Xfinity cars were. So does that speed up the learning curve for him? And it could. And that's a story I'm watching as well.
How about them WeatherTech commercials, huh? Pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know, 17th. Yep, be interesting to see what he does this whole year. But out of the 5 road courses that are out there, you would think he's going to at least get one of them. So that should get him at least in the playoffs. And this guy, he doesn't share with nobody, man. he wins everywhere he goes. Boy, and he's always got that same paint scheme, ain't it?
Yeah, Hendrick Cars, he came over unsponsored, so Hendrick put his own company on, and it did so well with him. I don't think they'll let another sponsor come in. Of course, they got Valvoline and maybe one other.
Yeah.
The primary for a lot of these races will continue to be HendrickCars.com.
Yeah, and that paint scheme has always been Ricky Hendrick's car, way from back then. Huh?
Classic.
Yep, and they've never really changed that paint scheme ever since then. So he looks like he's going to get in the top 10, knock AJ out.
Yeah. But by how much? I wouldn't be comfortable.
Well, boy, the times are tight. I think you can expect him to be in the Final Four, or darn right close to it.
Yeah. We did we both have him in, or neither of us have it? I might have to check on that.
Yeah, we both have him in there.
Both had him in there? Oh,
yep. He didn't make the championship Busher last year. He had that Pocono race where he got taken, Reddick ran him bad. And this guy's fast. He's a doggone good racer, man. And so,
yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Actually, McDowell too.
Yeah.
This is tight.
Oh yeah, look at this. It's
wow.
Drag race. 11th. Bummer.
Oh, 2000th of a second.
Yeah, 2000s. Missed out.
Yeah, what time the twin races tomorrow? I got that here for you, Burmy. Let me just pull it up.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Yep.
Yep, 6 o'clock our time is the first duel.
Yep, 6
The,
o'clock.
the, the truck practice is at 4:05. 4:05 tomorrow, and then 6:05 is the first race.
Yeah, if you're looking for the TV schedule for tomorrow, 3 o'clock is ARCA practice. Um, then on FS1 is 4 o'clock is truck practice. 5 o'clock is race day, and 6 o'clock is the duels, and they are 60 laps like usual.
Just enough that you have to at least pit.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you can make 60 laps. I guess if you ran
Close.
half throttle and you stay in the pack as long as you're not leading, you might be able to pull it off.
McDowell looking a little nervous. Who do we got to go here? I could
Suarez. Yeah,
tell
he's not
everyone.
good.
Yeah, who? All right, so next up is Alex Bowman. We got Alex Bowman, Kyle Busch, Christopher Bell, Austin Cindric, William Byron, Bubba Wallace, Ross Chastain, Joey Logano, Ty Gibbs, Chase Briscoe, and Josh Berry all remaining.
Goes fast when they only run one lap.
Are we sure I'm gonna make the 9 o'clock 500?
You don't need no practice.
No.
Get in and go.
Yeah.
Make sure you pee first, though, right, buddy? 3.5
Yeah.
hours. You're the one that wanted us to get through 2 other guys and let's see if we could run a 24-hour.
I'm not up for that yet. Yeah, I thought it would be cool to do, but road racing, I need a lot of practice, and we have to be all of us have to be. I think it's at a C level for the road
Yeah.
course, so that's probably never going to happen, honestly. Sawyer Efforts has some information. Connor Jones won the pro late model race at New Smyrna.
Yeah. Lots of racing at New Smyrna.
Sawyer, are you still helping out Wilson Motorsports this upcoming year? Yeah, some heavy hitters still to go here. Of course, because it's top 20. So. All right,
So
Sawyer is planning on it, so that's cool.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff, especially as good as they run, man. You know, some of that stuff's got to rub off onto his own team there. Yeah, because then they're going to run these top 10 and they're going to run them again, aren't they? So yeah, it's going to be close to 9 o'clock, man.
It's going to be close.
You might have to run over and heat up the TV, man, or heat up the computer.
Yeah, send a message. Dominion will probably be the first one that Sawyer's at with Wilson Motorsports. He's got to get his car done. Yeah, I bet you a lot of people are in that same boat. Yeah, for the people tuning in, I see there. So some information regarding Max. They have in-car cameras during the race, so you can tune. If you have a Max subscription, you have to have that. But they did it. I watched it during the clash. The syncing of the audio and video wasn't the greatest, but I'm hoping they fix that out. But if you have a Max subscription, you can tune into the in-car cams, which is pretty cool. Also, the CW app for Xfinity Series during the race, the app itself will also have in-car cams during it. And if you don't have the CW or can't watch it, if you have the CW app, the Xfinity race will be put on the app the following day. So you can't watch a live race on the CW app, but the next day it'll be on there. So.
And you know, you go to Tuesday or Wednesday and you just go to YouTube and it's commercial free. When they go to commercial, it's like a crank it up, you know. And
Yeah.
so you know, if you ever miss a race or whatever, you can always go back to YouTube, not the YouTube TV, just a regular YouTube channel, and you can actually get to watch the race over. So if you miss something that goes on, you can always catch it later in the week.
Yep, been there, done that for sure.
Yeah, every once in a while, all of a sudden, I want to catch that again. So you go over there. Wow, what a sharp looking car that Bowman car is. Look at that, huh?
I'm a little worried that
Yep.
it's not going to be enough.
Seventh.
Might be okay.
And the
Yeah,
Hendrick cars are all right in the same kind of spot right there.
yeah. So Kyle Busch up next. Then it should be Christopher Bell, Austin Cindric, William Byron, Bubba Wallace, Ross Chastain, Joey Logano, Ty Gibbs, Chase Briscoe, and Josh Berry. Sawyer, this is on Fox Sports 1. You can also watch it on the Fox Sports app if you have it through a TV provider. It started on FS2 and the Fox Sports app because basketball was finishing up on Fox Sports 1, but now it's all transitioned to Fox Sports 1. Yep, Brandon. Brandon's got it covered too.
Yeah.
Man, this is tight again.
Yeah, don't go down the backstretch.
Two guys that have been so close in the 500 and haven't done it.
And those guys are good friends.
Best of friends.
Yeah, they've had a little history through the years. It's calmed down lately, but back in the Xfinity days, man, these two definitely had some good wars. Yeah, looks like he's just gonna get in eighth.
That would
No,
make
yeah,
me nervous.
yeah, Brad, you can go back to the hauler.
Oh, Sawyer streaming it, so it's a little delayed. I'm streaming on YouTube TV. That's the provider that I have. But Mark, you and I are pretty synced up here, which is cool.
I'm right on FS1. Here comes Christopher Bell. Many people are picking him to go and be the champion, and that's who you picked this year. Wow, what a
You have
talent this
Sling
kid!
though, right?
This kid's got a talent, huh?
You have Sling that you're streaming through, right?
Yeah, right. It's through Sling and through FS1. Yep, that way.
Man, look at how bumpy of a ride that is. I know
It is.
Louis Goss chimed in and Terry Korth as well about the bump stops and other things going on with it that'll make it a rough ride. But yeah, look at him
Well,
getting moved around in
wasn't
that
it
seat.
like 2015 was back then? Well, what was the year that the dryer got hit? Because that
2013.
13, so
13
that
or
was
12.
because it was a brand spanking new pavement, and you could still see that patch over in turn three still to this day that they had to repave that. It's amazing that night that we didn't melt the racetrack.
That was crazy. Yeah. 2012. 2012 it was.
Here's a dark horse right here, and maybe you can't call him a dark horse. And
I
he's
don't have
one.
him in my playoffs, but I'm gonna regret that, I think.
He sure knows how to run on restrictor plates with Cindric here.
Pastor Scott says he's still in the office, but he's streaming us. Well, we appreciate that, Pastor Scott. Yeah, I told you on the podcast I don't have Cindric in, and after hearing his interview and what the media members were saying about him and how confident he is, I think I'm going to regret that. But how about Chase Elliott not making the top 10? That's surprising.
Second.
Man, Bush is on the bubble. Bowman, who I know Andy picked Bowman.
Uh-huh.
I picked Bowman. We're in trouble here.
Yep. We'll see what this 24 is always fast, so we'll see what he can do.
Defending Daytona 500 champion,
Yes.
William Byron.
That seems so long ago, didn't it?
I just said it was 2 or 3 years ago, honestly. Yeah, that I remember that awesome white paint scheme from Exalta that they did last year was I love that paint scheme. He has some good paint schemes too here.
Now he's got flames again.
This one, the other one had flames too, but it was a white paint scheme, so the flames weren't as visible. But
Wow, did he catch
that
up
paint
fast?
scheme reminds me too much of Jeff Gordon.
It does. It
I
does
wish
look
they
like a
would
Jeff
change it
Gordon
up a
car,
little bit.
doesn't it? Yeah.
We won't lead you astray, Pastor Scott. We'll we won't lead you astray.
He's
So
not going to
Byron's
get
not even
in.
going to make it.
Wow, that's a surprise. 18th.
So
Oh, them
didn't this
times are tight
happen?
there.
Didn't this happen late in the year with the Hendrick cars? They was it at Daytona or Talladega late where they didn't show the qualifying speed and maybe they went for more drivability in the car than
Yeah,
raw speed?
but you think you'd really want to go for the front row? You'd want to be up
Yeah.
there, you know?
I mean, because you can switch over the car to
Yeah.
race. I don't know.
We're
Oh, the
running out of
wall is
cars,
super.
aren't
I don't
we?
know.
With 30, 39. This is the what, the
Yep,
40th car out. So what do we
this is
got? 5 left?
40th. So we got Chastain, Logano, Gibbs, Briscoe, and Berry left.
Wallace ain't doing so good here. That's Toyota.
Well,
Yeah.
I told you about the Toyotas. I didn't like their speed, but Bell's up in 5th, Hamlin's 6th, so not terrible. Remember the days they would be lucky to be in the top 20. What was that, year or two, and the last 5 or 6 years it seemed like.
This Chastain was riding around all morning with his hand sticking like what it is right here. And Harvick and Boyer were saying it's hard enough to drive with 2 hands.
Man,
And Harvick says, I just wouldn't do it. They'd say, put your hand up there. And he goes, no. And some reason they think that can keep the air from getting inside the car. Well, it's not working right now.
I've seen people do it, and I feel like more often than not it doesn't work. But there's a reason they're doing it.
It got Logano
Joey
busted.
Logano had the webbing, remember?
And didn't he have illegal gloves? Yeah.
Well, it was illegal because of the webbing. It wasn't that fireproof material, and that wasn't allowed in general anyway. But
And that was a hefty fine, too, that they laid on him for that. Yeah, you better have the safety equipment. Isn't that strange he doesn't have his visor down?
Ryan Manthe says it's on the vent window bar. He used to get yelled at by 141 Speedway for holding the bar. So yeah, there's a reason they're doing it. Oh, Pete Umholt. I used to work with Pete at Suburban. Used to be a Suburban Electric. I think they changed the names and all that. But he was at that race that Montoya hit the jet dryer, and he could feel the heat from the grandstands where they were sitting. Pete goes, Pete, are you going down there again? I think you go down there almost every year, don't you?
Yeah, they get on the straightaway and he puts his hand up against the window there by the net. It's working.
Check the gloves.
They
I don't think they would do that again.
no, that was a pretty hefty fine that he got for that. So, well, looks like that's going to knock Kyle out.
Yep. Oh, my pole pick is now going to be on the bubble. Yikes. And we got Gibbs, Briscoe, and Berry left.
Wow. Two Penske cars in the top 3 there. And another Ford up front, too. So there's 3 Fords up front.
Making me nervous. Burmy says they're practicing flipping off for races. Seen that once or twice, I guess.
As good as Ty Gibbs was in Xfinity, I mean, he just looked like a shoe-in. But he just doesn't Just doesn't get the results just yet.
Well,
I mean, as dominant as he was in the Xfinity Series coming through the ranks, um, I don't know. That's Kyle Busch's old 18 car. Boy, not much there, man. He's quite behind.
well, once again, Toyota. I think the majority of the
Yeah,
time they've struggled.
drivability. They're looking for drivability there.
Yeah,
Look at this car hopping and
yeah,
bouncing. Hey, they call that character for the racetrack, right?
right. Here's another sharp Bass Pro car. He could have a very good year this year. I don't want to call him a sleeper, but he could have. I don't think. Don't sleep on him. He could go well into the playoffs.
Yeah, he's definitely got the talent. There's some racetracks that he really races really good.
Well, here's a Toyota with speed now. Yeah,
Wow, he's pulling away here, man. This is gonna be a good lap here.
this might be
So
to the top of the
A2,
track
this
there.
is going to be a pull. He's down to
Yep, this is
31. Yeah, this is going to be the fastest lap right here.
not the pole just yet. Bowman's
Yeah,
he's
I
not
know,
even
but
off the turn four.
he's going to be in the twos here. What a lap that is! Woo!
Not the pole yet because they got to go another
Yeah,
round.
look at that! Wow, 21
Wow, 21.
popped his bubble.
That's fast. Priest says that's fast.
Yeah, that's fast.
Ryan Priest, we had him on the podcast
And
a while back. He's a good guy.
there, that's a Toyota. So this is the last guy right here, ain't it?
This is the last guy. Yep.
Barry right here. Yeah, always a sharp-looking car.
Pete hasn't been down there for about 5 years now. Okay. Yep. Sawyer efforts as Ty Gibbs spotter was spotting for Brent Cruz at the Derby this past year.
I suppose they're going to have to give a little bit of a break for these cars to cool off a little bit because these ones that's gone late is going to be a disadvantage for the ones that went out earlier.
9 o'clock could be an issue here.
Because I'm sure they're probably going to give them 15 minutes to at least give these guys that run late to give them to cool off.
Wow.
Very sixth.
So you had what, the front row guys? None of them made it. And I had two Hendrick guys. They didn't make, only one made it, Larson, and he was on the bubble at the end there. Wow. Wowzers.
And on my pool out of 67 people, there is nobody that took the 19 at this time. But that looked like a pretty good time there, dude. That might be hard to beat unless if somebody can tweak the air pressure and figure it out.
Well, yeah, can they make an adjustment or do something different here? I mean the top 10, what are they again? So we got Chase Briscoe, Ryan Preece, Austin Cindric, Joey Logano, Ty Dillon, Josh Berry, Austin Dillon, Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin, and Kyle Larson. Yeah, there's some prizes up there. Briscoe,
Okay.
Preece,
All makes are up there.
Ty Dillon, Berry. Wow, some surprises for sure.
We'll see
Yeah,
what happens
Louis, we've
tomorrow here,
talked about
man.
that cool down time that Mark was talking about too. That's hard to do that, I guess.
That could be a
Cool down time.
disadvantage for Briscoe, because he just ran out. So somebody that ran earlier got to cool off, but don't know.
Yeah, someone like Ty Dillon or Austin Dillon that went out way earlier. But you have to deal with the circumstances.
we'll see how they hook up tomorrow, man. That's what's so fun about the 150s. Find a partner and see what you can do. And weather looks good. Just earlier this week they were talking not so nice for Thursday night, but now it looks good.
Yeah, the biggest question is what, Sunday during the day?
Yeah, it could be a long day on Sunday. Maybe we'll see. But on the podcast, you gave a "we'll be all right," so you just knocked 5% off right there. So you're a good man, Lauren. There's many
So
times we go to the races and Lauren says we'll be all right, and you know what? For some reason, it ends up working out, and we end up being all right.
yeah,
You,
sometimes.
you got the magic touch. I don't know what you got there, dude.
Hey Louie, when's the next podcast? Burmy, you're right. We have done that long day before. Yes, we have.
Pace yourself. That's the key.
Yeah.
Don't get wrecked the first half of the race and it ends up being a long day. So
That goes for the fans and the racers.
yeah, but it's a holiday the next day, so you treat it as such, right?
Well, some people gotta go to work.
Yeah, some people. Out of all of them, that Ty Dillon, that one is probably the biggest surprise on that board.
Yeah, I would agree. Ty Dillon, and then who would you say is the second? Barry?
Barry, and
Priest?
yeah, I guess Priest would be the second one.
I'm getting a little nervous about this 9 o'clock deal. It might not happen.
Yeah, we'll have to do it some other time. Hey, they got it at 2 o'clock on Friday morning, man. Get up in the middle of the night, and then you can race, and then you can go right straight to work. Think about that.
What are this? I should look up the other sessions here.
You gave me the 5 times. There's 5 races that's on the iRacing 500.
Oh, Timmy Sartorius is on here. He says Joey Logano will be on the pole. Got a good shot.
Well, you know how Joey Logano is. Don't ever count
Can't
him
bet
out
against him.
because he's always right there. Hey, the last time I met this guy, Ty Dillon, he gave me a knuckle bump, man. That just like, yow.
That was at Milwaukee, right?
That was in Milwaukee. And he came off the stage, and I stuck my fist out there, and he got me just right. And I mean, he put a little leather on it. I was like, yow, that was shake the hand on that one. I'll remember that one.
Yeah, looking at these sessions here tonight at 9, 2 o'clock in the morning on Friday, and then Saturday at 10 in the morning and at 5 at night. But that would be the Xfinity race. Could watch
Yeah.
it on record or Sun. What is that? What is the 17th? Is Monday at 2 in the morning. That could be a possibility.
A 2 in the morning after a long day of racing?
Yeah, that's not happening.
Nah, I don't think so. Hey, all you got to do is get them Australians. You know, them Australians are just get going.
Easy.
And I mean, they're aggressive. If you ever get on iRacing late at night and the Australians get on there and they race like they run their supercars and they are aggressive. And so it's interesting when you get
They're
home
fun to
from
race with.
Yeah, they're fun to race with, but just remember they are aggressive. It seems like when you run in the afternoons on iRacing, it's kind of mellow. Like it seems to be a mellower crowd, and then the nighttime races after supper. Well, I don't know. It seems like I always have to pick out where the Canadians are. You got to keep an eye on them.
Easy.
Yeah, well, I call it like I see them. You know, there's some great ones out there, but there's some that are just like yikes. Back in the day, I used to put a piece of masking tape on my steering wheel and I'd write their numbers down. So when I was racing and I was around them, that I would actually be on my toes being around them drivers. So
Yeah.
I kind of stereotyped them a little bit back in the day, but I got over that. Just get in front of them, you don't have to worry about it.
Maybe it was you.
Maybe it was, well, I've got that magnet for a bumper and everything happens in front of me.
Well, if you had a Chevy, you'd be in front of them.
I'm the Daniel Dye of iRacing, right?
Yeah.
Every time you watch Daniel Dye's in camera, that's me. It's always something happens, always right off the bow. I don't understand it.
Yeah. Well, so qualifying will take roughly 10 minutes once this thing gets going. Probably maybe 15 to 20 with qualifying. Toyota's never won a Daytona 500 pole. Never. Huh.
One pole in the last 12 was Logano last year.
That's surprising too. I mean, I know Hendricks dominated the last few years, but there's been times
31
before it's
times.
been
11 out of the last 12 was a Chevy.
wow.
That's impressive.
Very, very. He does look more focused or more confident. I would say more confident, Austin Cindric.
You know, we talked about
He's got a pep in his step. I don't know.
we talked about it. You know, back in the Xfinity days, and he would great results, great road racer, man. And yeah, he just doesn't get the results that he deserves in the Cup Series.
Oh, Will Cagle, yeah.
I tell you what, man, see that old racing on Tubi, that
Yeah,
Tubi channel with them
that's good
four
stuff.
classic races. There's four of them on there, and that 1960 race, I could sit there and watch that over and over and over again. And the thing about it is that I've watched all these videos and through the years, and that one I've never seen before. It was like a half-hour segment, watching that guy's engine come out of the come out of the car, and he crawls out. He's in a white T-shirt and an open-face helmet, and just amazing how these guys are racing with just lap belts. And man, come a long way
Ooh.
back from those days, man.
Yeah, just a lap belt.
Yeah, when I'm in the man cave, the Tubi channel's on all the time.
I've been putting it on during the day when I'm home, but I've also been putting it on going to bed and just falling asleep to some racing.
Yeah,
Watching some good
you,
stuff.
you can fade away listening to motors running on a racetrack. Oh yeah, sweet dreams there.
Not yeah, not at the racetrack. Don't fall asleep at the racetrack.
No, no, no.
All right, I'm ready.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm ready.
You can only drag this out so long.
Yeah,
I suppose there's a purse or there's some money for winning the pole, isn't there?
I would think.
I think there's incentive for them to get it.
Yeah, you would think.
I
Well, I
think
mean,
there's like a pole award. Yeah, there's got to be something there. And you
probably pick up
get to do the hat
cash.
dance, you know, and you get
Oh
to,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
back in the day, you know, on after the twin races the next day. Back in the day, USA Today paper was a must. You had to have a USA Today paper. Um, they've faded off of that recently. It's not as good as it was back in the day. I mean, that was a hot ticket. You got up in the morning and you were going to go get somewhere to go get that USA Today paper because they had a spread with the Daytona everything that you want. And look at that Ford sitting there, buddy. A Marvin Panch. Look at that 21 car. Oh, that's a Wood Brothers car. Looks nice.
Yeah,
And so
that
does that
throwback
one.
Iman Berry. Yeah. All right, I think this is a good sign
Yeah,
that we're gonna
we're
get
getting
going
we're getting
here.
them pointed in the right direction here.
Austin Dillon went before Ty, yeah, so he was the longest to cool down. That could make a difference.
So they're going by times and not the time they went out. So Ryan Priest, he was out quite early. So that could be an advantage for him. Yeah, don't count that guy out right there ever.
Looks like Larson's the first here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they were just reverse order it.
All right. There he goes. He's gonna fire right now.
Yep.
Do a
Right, so
burnout.
if we got 20 minutes, dude, that would put us at 8:55.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you get on there and then you'll have to do an update. And
Oh,
that'll do it to you.
that will end it.
How many times
That
have you
will.
went in and say, I'm gonna bonsai and go on and all of a sudden update and then you say, oh
Sawyer's asking if we want to go to the shop the Wednesday leading up to the Tundra race, which would be May 14th.
I can make it.
I can probably make that work. Here's the deal for me though. My wife's birthday is the 15th, which is the pit party, and then that whole weekend is racing. So let me just think about that for a little bit. Yeah, that's the Spring Classic out at WIR. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, be out to the racetrack. Some people were asking me if I was bringing the camper out there and just stay out there, and it's just like, no. I can go back and forth, and I don't have to live out there for 3 days, which would be okay, you know. But knowing me, I would go out there and get the grill going and just cook all the time and make a party out of it. But we'll save that for the 250 possibly. That's right
Yes,
around your
we're
birthday. That's your birthday.
yeah, yeah. Mine's
We'll,
what, a Monday this year.
we'll get you. We'll get you a bottle of Fireball, and you can be somebody.
Oh no, we will not. That was a one night, and that'll be done for the rest of my life type situation. Sawyer, the week before, yeah, that's a possibility too. That Wednesday might work out okay. I might have to miss the pit party on Thursday, unfortunately. Family, bigger stuff going on, and then Friday I'm announcing for the Spring Classic, so I'll get back to you on that. It is in the. I will get back to you on that for sure. We gotta figure out what day in March we're gonna try to do the women's podcast as well. We got that coming up, so keep that in mind, Mark, too. And I've had a few people message and see about that, so we're gonna do that.
Yeah, they're very important too.
I know Shane Barr wants to come back on. We should have Louis come on. We've been wanting to have him for a while now. Help support his podcast too, having him on. Yeah, well,
Yeah, it was great to have Andy and Michael Anthony on last week. So
yeah.
got some
Talk
good
about red, white, and
information.
blue already. That's huge.
Good stuff all around there.
So Hamlin beats Larson by over a tenth. Which again, going into this is surprising because historically Toyotas lack qualifying speed, and Hendrick Carr, I don't know.
Yeah, so Briscoe ran a 21 on his lap.
Yeah,
We'll see if
21.8.
we'll see if he can back that up here.
You would almost think it would be a little slower with the cool down period, wouldn't you?
You know, maybe the fluids and everything are just a little bit loosened up than being cold. Maybe I don't know. Probably run the same kind of thing.
Yep, Shane, we just mentioned that the women's show in March, and you coming on and all of that. We just mentioned that, so I don't know if you heard that, but literally 20 seconds ago we mentioned it. Appreciate you turning in, buddy.
Looked
The
sharp
bell
in
goes
his new
second.
in his nice uniform the other day, man. He looked
Yeah,
awful sharp. He
yeah,
looked very sharp.
yeah. That's kind of cool to have your wife's business on the front of your uniform too. That's pretty cool. All right, you
Wow.
think Dylan's gonna do it here?
It's been 7 years since he dumped Almirola, dude. Wow. 7 years, dude, since that happened.
Since, since
That's
he
crazy.
dumped,
He
not that he
dumped
won
it.
the 500, since he dumped Almirola.
Well, yeah.
I saw
I don't
that
know.
differently. I don't
Um,
know that
I
you're
can't
gonna
say he
stop your
dumped him, but
run.
dude, you're coming to the checker, and he just didn't line up right, and it was unfortunate. That was a heartbreaker for Almirola, but you
There's
know,
no way you're gonna stop your
heck
momentum there
no.
when
The
someone
white
goes and tries to do it. There's no
the
way.
white flag is already flown, man, and you are going for the Daytona 500. You'll run anybody over for that. But the seven
I,
years, man, wow.
so this could be history here with Toyota never getting a Daytona 500 pole.
I don't know. I don't know if anybody's going to touch Briscoe. If he can lay that down again, we'll see. All these times look just about the same as what they had, ain't it? All in the fours.
I'd have to check
Boy,
because
it'd
they
be
delete the
cool if
top 10.
would it be cool if the Wood brothers could be up front there, huh?
Yeah, yeah, 75th
That'd be,
season.
that'd be,
Yeah, yep. Corey Wenzel also chiming in here, advancing to the Daytona 500 pole round. His pick is Chase Briscoe, Ryan Preece for the must be the front row there he's talking about. And he's also saying that we all have to do a shot of Fireball. No, sir.
I got a bottle
Mark's
right.
gonna start a trend.
I got a bottle right under the bar here, but it's got a lot of dust on it because I don't like touching that E.
You're gonna try to start a trend, and I'm telling you that's not happening.
I'm going to put it in your coat pocket on your way home Sunday, and you can take that home with you. And you can share that with whoever you
No,
want.
no, thank you.
Yeah,
What about blackberry brandy?
that's another tough one. Hey, I started on blackberry brandy back in the day.
Yep.
Um, having mixers when I first started indulging in blackberry brandy, but that wore out its welcome after a while too.
I can do it. Blackberry's good.
In
I didn't
moderation.
overindulge on that like I did Fireball. Fireball,
In
no,
in moderation,
yes, always.
always.
Well, Ty Dillon's kind of coming back a little bit
He's
here. I'm
he's
seeing
hanging. He's hanging there.
now he's falling back a little bit again.
He's 3/4 of a car behind. No, I don't
Sawyer
think he's
says
gonna.
cost me about 185,000 on DraftKings that day. I missed that first part of the story, Sawyer, so you may have to elaborate just a little bit on that. Oh, he fell back to fifth. Wow, he really lost ground in
Yeah,
three
he
and four,
didn't.
huh?
He didn't get off that corner very well. Yeah, but look at how close some times are, dude.
We're definitely making 9 o'clock, I think.
Yeah, I think you will.
As long as
We'll have
there's
to.
no update. Could you
We'll have
just
to
jinx
think.
me with an update? Yeah, there hasn't been an update in 2 years, and Mark says there's going to be an update, and bam!
Oh, these two are shadowing each other.
Here's Sartorius's pick. You know he
Oh,
wouldn't pick against a Ford. He would not pick against a Ford.
never pick against a Ford. Look at these two, man. They are shadowing each other.
Maybe that little arm thing worked.
He's caught. Yeah, he's getting the nose out.
Bermy says,
Drive
"Good
with
look at 9." Yeah. The
drive
biggest
with one
question at
hand.
yeah. The biggest question at 9 is how long can Mark stay up?
That is the challenge. Yeah, this week I've been just a little under the weather, just a little bit, and I really didn't get a
Oh,
nap in. I didn't get a nap today. I got some grilling in out in the snow, and I smoked some haddock this afternoon. That kept me going. But I did that all without having any beverages or anything until tonight when I'm sipping on this chocolate coffee beer.
oh, Sawyer says the million to win pot on DraftKings. He was tied with about 500 people for first place before Dylan wrecked Almirola. But he only put $10 down. So, but still, I mean, if you're looking through going into turn 3 and you think you're going to win a couple 100,000, jeez. Yeah, Tim's happy about that Ford. Here's
Oh,
another one.
yep, yep. She's pushing it, but still think Briscoe's the guy to beat, man. We'll see.
Well, I would think
He popped the
he's
he
got to
popped
be
the
after that
10
first lap, man.
3. This ain't gonna make it into the twos. Not yet. 32.
So Briscoe and
Two to,
Priest are left.
2 to go. Let's see what Priest can do here, huh?
Yeah. So that ensures that a Ford will be on the front row at the minimum.
That means 5 Fords are gonna be top 5 are Fords. That don't mean nothing. That's how you drive the 500, right? Yeah, these they're
Well, the top
shadowing.
it won't be a complete top 5 because the next car is a Toyota.
Oh, that's right. The next one's a Toyota. Yeah, I'm used to Briscoe being on a Ford.
There you go again, thinking.
Yeah, stop it.
Uh, boy, this is tight again. I say it's tight, but I mean,
He's
15,000.
fading.
How does he get off the
Just
corner?
fading.
Coming back.
Yeah, coming back, but so
Not going to
close.
be enough.
P2. Yep.
Oh, Logano's not even on the front row, Tim. So Cindric's on the front row.
Yeah.
Former Daytona 500 champion
All
in his
right.
rookie year.
Let's see what this rocket can do.
I think Shane's laughing at my comment to Tim. I think. All right. Anybody but Ford. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look
Oh,
out.
he's got a half a car already. Only,
Wow.
take, only takes a bobble
This
though.
is over. This is over. Nope, I'm saying this is done.
Nah.
Wow, what
Yeah.
a way to
Yeah. Yeah.
start
That whole
start with
car.
a
Yeah.
new team.
Yep. He's going to be in the twos again. Only one.
Yep. Slow down just
Yeah.
a little bit, probably.
He's got this. Get
Wow,
one
I
over.
thought him going up that half a lane would scrub
You're
speed,
going
and
to
he
get
picked up another
a
200s.
25, 24, yeah,
Wow.
25. Yep. So there you go, man.
Wow.
That
Wow.
drift is hot. That's a fast car.
If I wonder
Poor
what the
Truex.
betting odds were for Briscoe to be on the pole.
Truex probably saying maybe I should retire next year.
Well, how about this? We talked about history with Hamlin being up there initially, but um, Toyota with their first Daytona 500 pole.
Wow. Kind of a surprise, I guess, but good run, man.
Cindric, not so much, but Briscoe, yeah.
Yeah.
Former teammates in that Team 60 deal.
Yes, yes, it was. That had such bad luck.
Oh, Yeah, we try to forget that.
That one just was couldn't do nothing right in that car.
No. Right.
It actually killed Roush in the Xfinity series, is what that did. It
Yeah.
was that bad. So
Well, how about that? Chase Briscoe on the pole for the 500. Austin Cindric joining him there. I don't think anyone picked Briscoe until he was already fast. Corey Wenzel picked him after, but that was after the first round. So, yeah, Toyota's first pole. That's still surprising to me, but what a great
yeah.
year, way to start with a new team right there.
So now we go to tomorrow night. So who's locked in already of the ones that's do you got that
Yeah.
information? Who's locked in?
Who's locked in is Jimmy Johnson and Martin Truex Jr.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So, yeah. So, uh, yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So,
So the rest of them are gonna have to race their way in.
should be a good show tomorrow night. Maybe I should
Oh,
do this again. Maybe I should come to your house. I don't know. I'm still deciding.
well, you know where I'll be.
Yep. Well,
Anybody else? Bring
yeah, thanks.
snacks. Bring snacks and your drinks, and come on over. We'll race down in the man cave over here.
Thanks, Berman. Yeah, I'll try to keep them awake. We'll see how we do. But um, thanks everyone for tuning in. I'll try to do this more. Like I said, maybe tomorrow for the duels. Maybe I'll tune in again. We'll see. Got to give another shout out to Tim, Thorpe Racing here.
Keeps your beer
Um,
cold, man, for sure, man. This is good stuff.
just tremendous friendship there. Also, Ben and Carrie with Valley Gasket. Appreciate it so much. Appreciate all of you, man. This is cool. This is a lot of fun. So, yeah, Tom, thanks. Appreciate all that you do. Appreciate everyone on here. Just incredible. We'll have some more fun with this and talk again soon. But we're gonna get off of here so I can go attempt to race, and we'll talk to everyone soon. Have a great Wednesday. Enjoy the duels tomorrow if I'm not on here, and enjoy Daytona weekend.
Yep. Have a fun weekend, everybody.